Folks, welcome back to Tabletop Tactics with myself, Lawrence, and Chef.
It's me.
We're coming at you with the hottest of FAQs. The new balanced data slate.
It's hot and it's good.
It's awesome.
And it's here at last.
So, look, fantastic move by GW here. I think it does actually show that, hey, look,
They do
know
care.
there's a problem.
They do listen.
They have now done something about it. So well done, GW. And I know that there'll be plenty of people out there which will be like, oh, well, you know, why didn't they do it earlier? I think GW is like, you know, when you've got a large company, any change that needs to be made needs to be approved on multiple levels. It's like a large oil tanker, and it's got a very wide, slow turning circle.
Into a canal.
Right, but once something's approved and it's in place...
Oh, we're free.
So like now they've got the precedent set for this.
Yeah. They've also said that they're going to do it every quarter, which is
there we
big
go.
news.
Well, that's huge. So we know that if there's something so oppressive now, hopefully that means we're going to get that faster response.
Indeed.
So look, most of you out there already know what's going on.
Yep.
You probably want our hot take on it. This is what this video is. So let's kick this off. What's take number one? Change number one.
Well, the big change, and tying in with oppressive. Goodbye, flyers. See ya. Don't let the fueling depot hit you on the way back to the clouds. Okay, so they're not gone completely. You can basically take 2 in a strike force mission. You can take 1 and 3 in other size games, but you're taking 2 maximum. Yep. It can have a bit of a knock-on effect for your Militarum players and for your Tau players, because they've been a few of them have been kind of propped up by flyers or like air cavalrysts, but you are unfortunately a casualty in the greater good. Yep. This is a fantastic change because 5/6 flyers was oppressive to play against. Yep. And this also helps future-proof stuff, because we don't want to see this sort of stuff again.
No, look, flyers don't
belong in the game of 40k.
Right. You know, they're a very, very tricky thing to write rules for and to balance. You know, I've seen them go from, you could only snap fire at them, which means that you hit on 6s.
They were 12 inches further away.
Yeah, you know, all sorts, right? But at the end of the day, they're a big model, generally speaking. They do move block, even though they've tried to write rules which try and prevent them from doing it. But let's face it, they do. And now the maps are even smaller. It becomes oppressive on multiple levels.
Not so much.
Limiting the number you can take makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. There it is. Okay, change number 2.
Change number 2. So now it goes into army changes. So incidentally, off the back of that, Astra Militarum.
Hello.
They got some pretty nice changes here. So your Layman Russ have gotten a 2-up save. We won't talk about the Baneblade chassis not getting a 2-up save, but you know we'll take what we can get.
Move on.
And then you've got some order changes. So now your tank commanders can give orders to any vehicle, unless it's a Baneblade type tank. So you can give your reroll 1s to hit to things like Basilisks or to Manticores.
Are a tank commander.
They're commanding them tanks.
Kind of makes sense.
So that's a nice quality of life change there. It gives you more options to play with, which is always good. And then depending on the order that you use on your infantry, as long as these are all the same regiment keywords, you can't have like a Cadian commanding like a Catachan or whatever it might be. If you use an order on a unit, all of your other friendly infantry regiment units within 6 inches of that unit that you've ordered gets the same order. The only one that I think it doesn't work on is move, because
so
that would be
like
ludicrous.
Ordering a platoon now.
Yeah, funny you should mention that, Lawrence, because that's exactly what you're basically doing. It's a good change. It really will sort of offer more flexibility for guard players, really open up some options for them, as well as just feeling a little bit more thematic on the tabletop. So I'm a big fan. The next one is Chaos Space Marines.
Right.
You didn't get 2 wounds. You were never going to get 2 wounds. It's a lot more complicated than just going 2 wounds, 3 points, done.
Don't get me wrong. I would love it if
would it have
was
made
the
a
case.
difference? I don't think so. You know, everything's so killy in the game.
The issue is the codex still needs a rewrite from the ground up. That's a separate topic which we've spoken about many times. It would have helped. Having said that, what I would say to Chaos players now is don't underestimate the change that is there.
Because what you do get is your Death to the False Emperor works on everything.
Everyone. And it is unmodified. It's not unmodified.
No, it's not unmodified.
You can put prescience.
You can get prescience off. It will still interact with things like Marks of Slaanesh and the icons and stuff like that. It can obviously mean that negatives will have an impact, so you do have to be careful about that. The other big thing about it is it's now an additional hit, not an attack.
Yep.
So you roll a 6.
Yeah, it's exploded.
It's exploded. Great.
Which is actually a strong change.
Yeah, rather than I've got to pick it up and roll it again and all that sort of stuff.
I'm not going to say it's the best use suddenly, really, really good.
But
I'm not going to say that, but
it's
it's
nice
at least a positive change.
It's something.
And we can only hope that, because it is, just a tweak, if you like, that hopefully Chaos will get their codex sooner rather than later.
One would hope
One
so.
would hope. Okay, what's the next?
Off the back of Chaos, we'll go over to Chaos Knights and their, less spiky brethren.
These are seriously interesting.
I have been asking for this for literally months and maybe possibly years. When did Knights start? And I started enjoying Knights, basically.
Yes, I know. Which previously you're like, no, I don't like that.
Because in 8th edition they broke the game, but 9th edition made it more about objectives, which they're not very good at. Until today!
Exactly.
Or technically,
What's
yes.
that, cheeky obsec?
Well, obsec on your armigers or your war dogs, and then all of your models count as 5 models, unless they're Titanic, in which case they count as 10. No more will a lone guardsman steal an objective from under my knight tyrant's nose.
Absolutely no sense.
Massive
This is
change.
a change that just needed to happen. Yeah, and it's been done.
The obsec on the armiger war dogs is a really nice bonus.
Yeah.
The fact that your models count as more is the key thing here. Because, that's the thing. You can have an armiger there's obsec in a lot of armies nowadays, whether it's via rights of war or dogmaters or just, lots of infantry.
But 2 guardsmen would still steal it from you.
But 2 guardsmen would still steal it from you, no longer. So now that is a massive, massive quality of life change, and I think really bumps up the potency.
Knights are really interesting now. The biggest issue you have from a competitive point of view, and this will be down to TOs to ensure that this does not happen, is that you've got manoeuvring lanes for your knights to move, because we know that the boards are more laden with terrain than they've ever been before, for various reasons, mainly because a lot of the terrain laws don't work great. But if you have the knights, they can maneuver around, and they will actually be able to compete now, which is great for you knight players, and they're cool models. So, dust them off, bring them out. I know some of you have been dedicated, continue playing them anyway. I love all of you, because you should be playing armies you love.
Yep, absolutely. And speaking of armies that I love, oh, my sweet, sweet Necrons. Oh, my sweet silver boys. Core on pretty much everything.
Beautiful.
Look.
They need a little something. A little extra sprinkle of special power.
Is it enough to make them like top tier competitive? I don't believe so.
I know people are already talking about destroyers
in night size and stuff. Like, it's fine. It's like whatever. The more important things is that you've now got rules interactions with more warlord traits, with more stratagems, with more character abilities. You're still paying a premium for the Necron army, but now you have a lot greater freedom in flexibility. There's a lot of I'm already seeing loads of combos flying around. I've already got combos going off in my head. A lot of people are saying that Caesar is basically an auto include now, because his ability only works on core. So if he's following, and also how cool is that? This big spider dude's following around the murder crabs, just going, hit better.
Well, look, it's exciting as well, because like if you're a Necron player, which you would have been from the beginning of 9th when you got your codex, right at the beginning of 9th, you probably felt left behind, and I think rightfully so. I think there's definitely been power creep, for multiple reasons, which has been a shame. Now you've got some real. It's really almost like a fresh look at the book.
Yeah, 100%.
It really is.
It's a really massive.
So that's exciting.
Really
it's a big change for Necron
players.
Yeah,
and it's one of those ones where I have, and I said this from the very beginning of 9th edition, I loved the way that the Necron book was. I was one of the few people that actually really liked the Necron book when it came out, because in my mind, this was the future of 9th edition. And all books are going to be like this. It wasn't, annoyingly. But I also, you may remember, friends on the internet, that I said, I really like the core keyword, because it's one of those things where you can just take it away or add it in. And boom, there we go, slap it onto a bunch of stuff, and already you can see the life that is breathed in.
Keywords are a good system. Okay, what's next?
So we're talking about a lot of the good stuff. Let's talk about the bad stuff, but not really. These are the nerfs, if you will. It's the balancing. We'll start with Orks, because it's nice and simple. You can run one of each of the unit of buggies. Lovely stuff. If you were running 9 squig buggies, I have no sympathy for you. So
now, so I'll reverse that. I do have sympathy for you, because you've probably gone out and bought them, and fair enough. But what I will do is offer some advice. This I've always said, don't chase the meta. You will end up getting stung. If something's that good, if something's too
probably
good,
won't stay that good for long.
think before investing in it. You know, unless you really want to be cutting edge all the time and you're happy to spend that, because ultimately that is some people's hobby.
Yeah.
And if that's your hobby, knock yourselves out. But then also you have to be prepared
for the balance changes.
the old nerf back, because it will come and get you.
The one thing that I will say with regards to the buggies, and this kind of applies to planes as well, I do wish that they'd have said it was 0 to 3 models, so that you had the option to put them into individual units. Because now you are tied into going, I want to run 3 squig buggies, and you will still run 3 squig buggies because they are very, very good.
Yeah.
You now have to have them as a unit, which does make them a lot weaker because of tagging or because of maneuverability. I think 0 to 3 models would have been nicer, but I appreciate the simplicity of 0 to 1.
Yeah, I think, look, obviously this is you know, they're trying to make a catch-all effective balanced strike in one fell sweep. So some things are going to be a bit lost in translation there. I mean, for me personally, I would have. They're big models. I don't understand why we're taking in squadrons in the first place.
No,
anyway.
you don't like squadrons.
I don't like them. It doesn't make sense to me. But look, that's just me. I've just had them as one model, and if you wanted to run an outrider for multiple, you could do something like that.
Yeah.
But look, it's a change, and ultimately, look, 9 things which ignore line of sight and basically break all of the terrain rules. And become a very uninteractive, and you put planes on top of it.
Yeah, it was very oppressive.
It's a point click, boom, boom, you're dead list. That's not fun to play against, and to be honest, I wouldn't even have fun playing with it.
No. And here's the other thing. This is all GT and sort of mission and like match play thing. If you've got 9 squig buggies and you want to run them because you think it's cool, just have a friendly narrative game. Like, what have you done? Oh yeah, like they've invaded the Ork, like, because the whole point of the squig buggy is they've gone, oh, this was originally like a farming tractor. So they've invaded the Ork like farming section, and they're just like, right, load up the wagons, let's get rid of them type thing. So you can still do it. It's just, for the health of the game, it is a necessary balance change. And speaking of making the game healthier, Admech and Drukhari have received some points changes.
Rightfully so.
We won't go through all of them, but effectively your standard Admech list has gone up by about 200 points. Drukhari have received a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah, well, the witches, Succubus, have all gone up. Even the Archon's gone up a little bit.
Which is a bit weird.
Don't think that should have happened.
Raiders gone up.
Raiders gone up, fair. You know, okay, I can wear that. Trueborn obviously gone up. I forgot. I don't know if I said that. Look, they're changes that all make sense, but then you've also got some things which have dropped, like the planes, like
the Talos,
you can only take 2 now, so I mean there is a kind of balancing.
Yeah, the plane's not.
Talos, which you're already seeing good use in competitive
the
play.
Corpse Thief is coming back.
Corpse Thief is back. Dark Artisan's back.
So it's like I say, Drukhari are a mixed bag. Admech have been hit a bit more because the plane nerf has reduced one of their main strengths of the move blocking, and it's not like, oh, you know, here's a few sort of elites that have gone up. It's your basic troops have gone up. So you will be feeling these points increases. And as I say, I think an average Admech army, or like at least some sort of popular Admech armies that have been winning tournaments, have been going up by like 220, 225 points. It's a big hit. Is it enough? I still maintain that Admech and Drukhari are going to be the top 2 armies to beat. I do not see the meta changing at the top.
Well, I mean, okay, well, let's go on to the other armies. What other changes are there?
I think that's it.
That's it. Okay.
I think that's it. Tau haven't received anything because they've already said there's a book coming.
Sisters
haven't received anything.
No. Okay.
Death Guard haven't received anything. No. Marines haven't received anything.
Just the what's seen as the primary offenders, if you like. Well, I actually think you'll see Sisters go to the top for a little bit.
You reckon?
Yep.
Well, this is the thing. We're in a bit
along
more
with some other top, specific lists.
Yeah, I think the Grey Knight, Dread Knight, Interceptor spam list will go up.
Yeah, Deathwing.
But these were kind of already up there anyway, so it'll be interesting to see how the meta does change. I still maintain that Drukhari and Admech are a bit overtuned, but that's more to do with the units and their rules rather than their points.
I think time will tell.
Yeah.
I mean, they have been hit.
They have been
hit. The witches were so oppressive.
Yeah.
They were so oppressive. You basically were running a horde army. The points changes have made a big difference to them, but the fact that the Talos have gone down, you probably see a swing to Covens, even more Covens.
I think a few people have been saying that.
We'll see. We'll see. It's going to be quite interesting. I mean, my list is, I was already trying to walk away from witches anyway, so I didn't want to use that Book of Rust.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So that's that. And
That's
then
that.
what else is there? Thousand Sons haven't received anything. Demons didn't receive anything. Craft Worlds didn't receive anything. Harlequins didn't receive anything. Now we know Gene Stealer Cults and Custodians have a book coming basically next month.
Yeah.
They've already announced Tau.
Yeah.
So Craft Worlds and Demons, who knows? But I understand that there is obviously a little bit of a, it would have been nice for them to receive, because they are struggling at the moment. Pure Craft Worlds, I think there's definitely scope of mixing stuff.
Yep.
Same with Demons, like being mixed in with Chaos. So those mixed armies are only going to get better with the Chaos improvements.
Yep.
But we'll see what happens in the meta.
Yeah. Look, overall, really positive changes. You know, obviously some people will be upset because some of their favourite units will be hit. But look, again, this is only for GT missions.
Yep.
And, you know, all of these changes are ultimately intended to make the game better and a bit more fun and fair for everyone, right? And that's what we want, because the fairer it is, the more people will want to play, and the more people that are playing means the more games you get, and that is the circle of life.
More people attend tournaments, which means bigger tournaments, which means more scope for greater fun.
Yeah, it's a win-win-win. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed that breakdown. It's just a rapid fire reaction, our hot take on these new changes, and oh my goodness, I'm excited. The fact that these are potentially quarterly.
Well, they've said in the Warcom article, this is the first of quarterly updates. So basically, we'll see you again in 3 months. That'll be nice.
All right then, folks, let us know what you think in the comments. Keep the discussion carrying on down below, and we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye for now.